A 41-year-old man dies in Lexington after crashing into a fire hydrant, but the coroner says his death wasn't related to the crash.
Looking across live sky camera, we have a few clouds out and about. Still a good looking day in store. Colder for tomorrow, and then Friday and Saturday are the days to watch. I'll explain what I'm seeing on the new weather data coming up.
A not-so-typical house party begins at midnight on this college campus. I'll explain coming up.
Tracking, alerting, protecting. This is WKYT News at Noon.
Good afternoon. We're glad you could be with us for WKYT News. I'm Bill Bryant.
And I'm Barbara Bailey. We hope you enjoyed the string of beautiful weather we've had, because colder weather is moving back into the bluegrass.
Change is coming. With that, another threat of snow, it looks like, for the weekend. Let's go to WKYT meteorologist Micah Harris live now in our First Alert Weather Center with an early look ahead. Micah?
You know, just looking outside, you just wouldn't believe it. It has been amazing the past 4 days. And you know what? It's going to be another good-looking day as we make our way into this afternoon, too. Now, looking on live sky camera, there is the look. You can see a few clouds here and there, and also holding on to temperatures. 47 now in Lexington, 46 in Richmond. You know what? A little more sunshine, and this will put us right around 50 degrees by the afternoon. Now, this morning we were talking upper 40s for most, but we're expecting a few more clouds too. So now those clouds have separated, it allows that sunshine to heat their Earth's surface and actually get a little bit warmer outside. 50 degrees is what we're talking about by the rest of the afternoon. Pretty nice, but still a little bit cooler from the past couple of days. Closely watching that Friday into the weekend. I'll show you what the latest weather data shows coming up.
Thank you very much. And a deadly crash is causing water problems in a Lexington neighborhood. It's continuing today after this happened last night on Shoreside Drive across from Jacobson Park. Police say the driver suffered a medical emergency before hitting a fire hydrant, and that caused thousands of gallons of water to spill out into the street. WKYT's Mark Barber has an update on the cleanup efforts that are going on, and that's our top story at noon. Mark?
The coroner says Sean Parker died after crashing into a fire hydrant here on South Shore Drive. But the coroner says he wasn't seriously hurt in the crash. Instead, Parker died after what the coroner is calling a sudden cardiac event. According to the coroner, the 41-year-old had a pre-existing medical condition. He was rushed to St. Joseph Hospital after the car crash, but we're told he died a short time later. Crews are now working to clean up the extensive water damage on South Shore Drive. Crews say they're starting with the worst of the damage by tearing out a driveway. The woman who owns that property says she rushed to move her car off the driveway last night because crews were worried it could collapse. They say it became unstable when an enormous amount of water rushed under it when the car crashed into the fire hydrant around 10:30 last night.
They asked me to move my car out of my garage because they said the bottom of my driveway would probably collapse from where there was so much water running from the fire hydrant being broken, and that I needed to get my vehicle out.
Crews say it will probably take the rest of the day to repair the driveway as well as the fire hydrant. Anderson Law's funeral home in Harlan is planning Parker's funeral. In Lexington, Mark Barber, WKYT.
Mark, thank you. And the funeral home says that the family is still finalizing his arrangements. Well, traffic is moving again on I-75 in Cincinnati this afternoon after an overpass collapsed during demolition on Monday night. Tons of debris had to be removed quickly from the interstate, and the southbound lanes were closed for about a day. The collapse killed Brandon Carl, a construction worker from Bracken County here in Kentucky. Carl's mother says he leaves behind a fiance and 4 children.
Weeks after a Kentucky mother was killed in a hit-and-run crash, police say they have found the driver who's responsible. The Grayson County Sheriff says charges could be filed soon and that the case has been sent to a grand jury. Jackie Hayes was walking with her 12-year-old daughter down a rural road 2 weeks ago when she was hit and killed. Police determined it was a red Dodge pickup that hit Hayes. Her daughter has been placed in foster care. The father of a 13-year-old girl who police say went on a crime spree with her boyfriend says claims that she was abused at home are bogus. Sean Phillips said anyone who knows his family knows that they did not abuse his daughter Cheyenne. From jail, Cheyenne's boyfriend, 18-year-old Dalton Hayes, says the two ran away from their Grayson County homes to escape her abusive family. Sheriff Norman Chafin says he's unaware of any previous accusations of abuse. The teen's travels took them to South Carolina and Georgia. They were arrested Saturday in Panama City Beach after police say they found them sleeping in a stolen truck.
The search is continuing this afternoon for a man who robbed a Lexington gas station early this morning. It happened at the Speedway at New Circle and Meadow Lane just before 6 o'clock this morning. Police say a man wearing a gray hoodie implied he had a weapon and demanded cash. After grabbing some money, the suspect then ran away. Police came there and set up a perimeter. They were not able to find the suspect. A Kentucky gas station employee foiled another robbery by spraying the suspect with tear gas. Ashland police say the would-be robber tried to hold up the Marathon gas station on Greenup Avenue. After being sprayed, the suspect left without taking anything. Police are still looking for that man.
She was the only survivor of a Kentucky plane crash that killed her parents, her sister, and her cousin. And now a brave young girl is on the road to recovery with the help of her tiny Illinois community. It's been nearly 2 weeks since 7-year-old Sailor Gutzler walked a mile through the woods to a Lyon County home to get help. As the community continues to mourn the deaths of Marty, Kimberly, Piper Gutzler, and her cousin Sierra Wilder, they're focused on helping Sailor move forward and heal.
We were glad to see that she was up and about. She had a St. Louis Cardinal red cast on her arm, and she's just an amazing little girl with a loving family, and they're just surrounding her, trying to support her at this time.
Now, at the school the Sailor attended with her sister, the school superintendent is offering support for students and staff coping with great loss.
A listening session on an Army proposal to make deep cuts in personnel stationed at Fort Campbell along the Kentucky-Tennessee border attracted a capacity crowd. Tennessee's Governor Bill Haslam and Kentucky Lieutenant Governor Crit Llewellyn were among those who were attending. Community leaders there, as well as a lot of politicians. Now, according to an Army report, the post could lose up to 16,000 soldiers and civilians, who in turn would have more than 24,000 spouses and children living in the community. Could be a tremendous blow to that region and a loss of nearly $1 billion in the surrounding areas. There was a huge house party, might as well call it that, is what it was,
yes,
at a Central Kentucky college overnight. It might not be what you think, though.
Hundreds watched crews move an entire home through the middle of the campus of Center College. WKYT's Whitney Wetzel is in Danville now with reaction to the historic move.
Workers were out well into the early morning hours, moving this 2-story house half of a mile to this site on Center College's Greek Row.
The thing of it is, we went through the middle of Danville with it, and to take care of all the obstacles and all the people involved, it was quite a feat. It was quite a feat to have it done.
A feat that took months of planning and a trailer moving at a snail's pace. Fast forward an hour and a half later, and this historical building that once sat on North 5th Street now has a new home on West Walnut.
Well, this is a house that we were not going to be allowed to take down, and we decided to make lemonade out of lemons, and we're now moving it.
Kentucky law requires any moves like this to take place at midnight to minimize inconvenience. But the event that hasn't happened in more than 4 decades in Danville turned into quite the party.
I mean, this is what my college is about. It's about having a good time across all the sororities, fraternities. Everybody's out here having a good time. There's some professors out here saying hello too, so it's a great vibe here at Center College. I love it here.
We like to think about Center College as being a place of adventure. Tonight, the adventure continues.
Now, I talked to emergency management officials this morning who tell me that crews plan to begin moving the house to its permanent foundation as soon as possible, and after that, they'll begin renovations. In Danville, Whitney Wetzel, WKYT.
And school leaders say the home will be used to house between 8 and 10 students beginning this fall. Well, Kroger is about ready to celebrate the grand opening of its newly renovated store.
They're doing it up in style. UK basketball coach John Calipari will help cut the ribbon at the Euclid Avenue store at 8 o'clock tomorrow morning. The 63,000 square foot facility features a rooftop parking deck with multiple elevators and escalators to transport customers from the shopping level. It will also have custom murals and a cafe with Wi-Fi and big screens. The first 500 customers tomorrow will receive 2 packages of Simple Truth natural boneless chicken breast.
All right.
Your souvenir.
New
I
store
suppose.
coming to the city. Yeah. Well, President Obama lays out his agenda for the year at the State of the Union address.
We'll have reaction from the Republican-controlled Congress next on Kentucky's #1 midday news.
Also ahead on WKYT, Justin Bieber about to be in the hot seat. We'll have more on Comedy Central's plans to roast the troubled pop star. Coming up on WKYT News at noon.